Getting drivers, what can you do to improve this? You need to take notes on this information. This will be on your state test. I'm going to go ahead and get this and improve. So we need to go ahead and talk about this. All right, risk awareness. Segment 2, risk awareness. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay, this is a fact sheet. We're going to talk about this. Why should young drivers age 16 to 17 be concerned? Because your age group has a lot of accidents. Risk is the chance of loss of life. So we want to preserve life. It's my job as an instructor. My job is to help you live a long time, not have injuries, damage, or loss of life. You need to write this down. I'm going to go through this information, and then there are going to be some questions you're going to have to answer as we go along. 16,790 16 and 17-year-olds are involved in property damage, injury, and fatal crashes each. 10% of 16 and 17-year-old drivers were involved in a crash during the first 3 years. So the first 3 years that you guys drive, this risk is very high. About 9.2% of you of 16-year-old were your 17th birthday. 78 16 and 17-year-olds are involved in a fatal crash as a driver, passenger, bicyclist each year. So what does this mean? You need to be careful and start looking around more, have better observation skills. Approximately 27 young drivers are driving a fatal crash in the year 2016 to 2020. We want to reduce this number. The major reason why, you need to write down the major reasons why. Inexperience. I know you've been driving, your reaction time is better. I still can beat you at Fortnite. Right. So inexperience. Write this down. Beginning drivers inexperience, it takes 10 years. Failure to adjust speed properly for traffic, curves, or slick surfaces. Sure, all of you can drive, but you don't have the adequate experience that you need to have. Failure to recognize hazardous situations. It's raining outside. It's icy. There's heavy traffic. So you fail to recognize, hey, I'm late to school and I'm going to speed. You're going to run a light. Someone's walking across a dark intersection and you hit them. It happened. Lack of attention to the driving. Caused by distractions. You're on your phone. Your mom called. Your dad called. I'm going to pick one question as a discussion item. You're going to write your answer down. You're going to type it into the chat. Number 2, why are new drivers at such high risk compared to age drivers? Again, you're going to answer this question in the chat. No, you can't use Chat GTP. You got to use your brain, GTP. Number 2, write it down. Why are new drivers at such high risk compared to other age drivers? Write it down, put it in the chat. I'll give you a moment. I want to welcome you all aboard. Those of you who are coming in right now, this is Driver's Education Risk Awareness. Certified driving instructor. I teach adults. I teach teens. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the lights. Let's get this going. And we're about risk awareness. This can help you if you're a newly licensed driver. And I'm going to be going over this information. If this brings you value, give it a thumbs up. Give us a like. We're trying to get this up to over 10 likes. So sit back, enjoy. Put your questions in. Thank you, Kay. Let's keep going. Okay. I want to keep going. I asked you to put in information. I will look at it. I'm going to go into the next part. If you just got in, you need to put your first name, middle name, last name, date of birth, and permit issue number. Okay, let's go on to the next. Fact sheet, young drivers. Why do young drivers crash? What's up, Jackson? You getting it all. Why do young drivers crash? Here's some statistical information. Between 1996, when the first three-stage graduation license started, it started back in 1996. Prior to that, you just needed your permit and you were out driving, but a lot of teens were dying and killing themselves. So most states around the country started the permit issue. Wear your seatbelt. That's the first thing you should always do. So back in 1996, the first three-stage graduate license program appeared in the United States. And in 2015, teen crash declined by 53%. It went from 5,819 to 2,715. That's a 53% decline. That is awesome. 50% of all driver crashes happen during the daylight. So this means you're not paying attention on the road. 31% happen on lit roads for all young drivers, including females. Please make sure you understand and highlight this. The most dangerous time for beginning drivers to drive is the 3-hour period after school, 2 to 5 p.m. Stop speeding. Wear your seatbelt. Stop playing with me. Again, the most dangerous time for young drivers is the 2 to 5 p.m. I have to go over 12 sheets and I'm going over it. And then we're going to have a discussion. So 2 to 5 p.m., that's the most dangerous time if you're a young driver. 16.8% happen between 9 p.m. and midnight. You're falling asleep at the wheel. 14% happen between midnight and 6 a.m. You're falling asleep at the wheel. 30% of young driver fatal car crashes happen Friday and Saturday. You're tired, you're out partying, you're having fun, but you're falling asleep at the wheel. Nationwide, more than 30% of deaths involving teen drivers occur in what is called the 100 deadliest days. Please make sure you write this down. You're going to have it on your test. A period that runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That's the most dangerous time for young drivers. The 100 deadliest days. You don't believe me? Look it up. Over the 5-year period of 2016 to 2020, the highest number of young driver fatal car crashes occurred in June, 16. I'm going to pick one discussion question. Why is after school, number 2, why is after school period the most dangerous time for young driver fatal car crashes? And how can you reduce your risk? Please take a moment and answer that question. I'll repeat it again. I need you to type in your answer. Why is the after school period the most deadliest time for young driver fatal car crashes? Fatal is when you die. How can you reduce your risk when driving after school? Take a moment, write it down. Guys, we're doing a really deep dive to help you understand about young drivers. If you're in your 20s and you don't have experience, this will help you. Well, I'm not in school anymore. You're still driving at a dangerous time where they're young drivers. They're not going to stop at a light. They're going to blow through a yellow light. You think they're going to yield, they're going to hit you when you make a left turn. They're not going to merge out properly. You as drivers, all of you are watching this because you want to learn how to drive. You need to be putting questions into the chat. You need to be wearing your seatbelt. You need to be reducing your speed. All this is real statistical information. This is from the Traffic Injury Research Foundation. Also, the American Automobile Association, the 100 Deadliest Days. You can look it up. We want to use scholarly sources. So I'm not making up anything. This is real. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the next fact sheet. Fact sheet number 3. Where do young driver crashes occur? On roadways. 92% of crashes occur on roadways where the speed limit is 55 miles an hour. So you are falling asleep, or you're on your phone, or you're fighting with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or your GPA is not a 4.0. It's a 397 because you didn't get an A minus, you got a B plus, and you're mad. 13% occur on roadways where the speed limit is 35. 68% of young driver and failure car crashes occur on country roads or streets. There's still country roads in the Midwest. No traffic lights. No street lights. 5.1% of young driver and failure car crashes occur on the interstate. You guys aren't driving on the interstate much. You have short trips to home, to your job to your friend's house, or to the golf course, or to the football field, or to the weight room. %68 occur where there's no traffic control device. You don't understand the right of way. 55.8% of young driver failure car crashes happen when making a left turn. You guys maybe know how to drive, but you don't understand how to make a left turn. You don't yield. Someone is speeding. A pedestrian walks across. You didn't look. You're on your phone. Your mom calls you because you didn't check in after school. You went to get a coffee and take your friend somewhere. Now she's panicking. We're going to pick one question. I am. Number one, how do speed limits affect young driver crashes? Again, I need you to answer this question. How do speed limits affect young driver crashes? Please put your answer in. We're doing a deep dive. We're getting into the essence of driving. More driving schools need to do this. They need to talk. They need to discuss. We need to have a conversation about driving. And a lot of you are learning how to drive, but from your comments, you're not really driving. I know how to drive, but you don't know how to deep drive. You're not driving from the Midwest to Texas. You're not driving from the Midwest to, you're not driving from Florida to Atlanta, Georgia. You may be driving a half an hour. So it's really important that you understand the psychological side of driving, and a lot of you don't understand this because you really haven't been driving. No cap, no hate, but you don't understand it. And if you don't understand it, that's what's going to injure you. And a lot of you have not been on the interstate, driving across the country, or having a flat tire, or falling asleep, or getting lost. So you will gradually do these things. It's really important that you post some comments and you understand what I'm trying to do as I go over this information. You need to post questions. Don't just sit here and say, oh, this is good, but put questions in so I can answer them. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to the next section. Fact sheet 4, young drivers plus passengers equal increased risk. The more people you have in a car, the more likely you are to crash. If you have one person in the car, it goes up 44%. 2 people, 88. 3 people, over 132%. I'll say it again. One person in the car, 44% opportunity of you crashing. 2 people, 88. It quadruples when you carry 3 or more passengers. The young driver is killed in approximately 1/3 of all fatal crashes involving young drivers. In fatal car crashes involving young drivers, passengers in the young driver's vehicle account for 50% of the fatalities. So what does this mean? You're killing your friend. That's what it means. You didn't mean to kill them, but you're killing them. With other teens in the car, male drivers are nearly 6 times more likely to perform illegal maneuvers. Hey guys, you're driving too fast. I'm a man. I got a fast car. Nope. Grandma's got a Mustang. Her son works at Ford. She got a supercharger. Drag past yours and you get embarrassed and run a light and rear end someone. Or someone has a Tesla that destroys you and you get mad. So male drivers drive more aggressive, but this trend has changed. Please make sure you know this, ladies. You like to drive fast too. You're late to cheerleading camp, Mary. You're late to cheerleading camp. They can't start without you. Yeah, you're right, they can't. But they did, Mary, but you're still speeding to get there. You're going to answer one question. I'm going to pick it. How do you reduce distractions while driving when you have peer passengers in your vehicle? Please answer number one. How do you reduce distractions while driving when you have a peer passenger in your vehicle? Take a moment to answer that. I really am enjoying this because we're going to the mental level. The more people you have in a car, the more likely you are to crash. You're probably saying, so what? Well, you want to go to die young? A lot of it is called kryptonite quotient. You think because you're young, you're invincible. You can't die. I can jump through a glass. I can run a light. I can cut off a semi-truck. But the semi-truck can't stop, and then you get crushed. And it's your fault because you cut off a semi-truck. Or you're driving at 80 on the interstate, and there's a rainstorm. And you hydroplane and flip your car. So you really need to think. Unfortunately, those of you who are young watching this, you die. And if you made it to 25, congratulations. Why are you so like that? I'm speaking the truth. Do you want me to lie to you? I'm not going to lie to you. Just like these Donald Trump tariffs. Donald Trump is not playing, bro. The market is upside down. So we all feeling the pain. Real talk. So you will feel pain either through a ticket, crashing your car, getting your license taken away. It is real. You're watching this because of driver's ed and learning how to drive. You're not watching it because I'm talking about anything else. And that's really important that you understand this. Let's get back to the lesson. Okay, let's keep it moving. I need you to type in the type of car you are driving, the year, make, and model. Type it. Well, I don't know how old. Then you don't need to drive. Well, why are you saying that? Type in the year, make, and model of the car you are driving. Please and thank you. Type it in, year, make, and model. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. We're at 4. I need 14. It's really important. We're talking about risk awareness of young drivers. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults and teens. You're getting a little screenshot of what I do in class, bringing you value. If this brings you value, you click the link in my bio, and then I have a Stan store. I partner with Stan to download digital products such as this. Also, you can set up a one-on-one coaching session with me. Why? Because I'm a state certified driving instructor. I can give you information on the test, used cars, insurance. No one is teaching this anymore. And a lot of you will be shocked because it's going to cost a lot of money. So I asked you to put in the year, make, and model of your car. And I'm going to see if you did this. Okay, we're going to go a 2013 Buick LaCrosse, a 2023 Bronco Sport, a 2021 GMC Arcadia, a 2022 Chevy High Country, a 2014 Kia, a 2025 Lexus IS350F Sport, a 2025 Jeep Limited Cherokee, 2024 Toyota RAV4, a 2025 Chevy Equinox, a 2018 Equinox, a 2015 Ford Escape, 2015 Nissan Altima S, a Toyota Prius, we're not mad, 2020. I don't have a car yet. Get a job. No one's going to keep giving you gas money. A 2010 Ford Escape, real talk. So let's look at this. Thank you. So in fatal car crashes, young drivers account for 74%. It's almost 75%. It's almost 75%. Which the vehicles are 10 years old or older. Some of you are driving 10-year-old vehicles. A third of you are. No cap. Fatal car crashes involving young drivers are 35.8%. The vehicles they're driven are 15 years old or older. 1 year after license, 35% of young drivers are driving the types of vehicles recommended. This is a mid-size or large passenger car. Some of you are driving mid-size or large passenger cars. A Ford Escape is not that. A 2022 GMC Yukon is that. A Ram Charger 2009 is mid-size. A 2002 Tryon V8, it's that. A Toyota Prius hybrid, it's a very, very small mid-size car. Nissan Altima, smaller car. Ford Escape, Equinox, mid-size. So what does this mean to all of you? If you were driving, and you're going to answer number 2, if you were driving an older, measures would you take to be safer? Again, I need you to answer this question. If you were driving an older vehicle, what measures would you are safer? Please take a moment, answer that. The chat is open. So now we're talking about vehicles. We're talking about vehicles and their safety. The newer vehicles have adaptive cruise control, dual airbags, lane departure. It doesn't mean that you can't drive an older vehicle. It means you have to be safer. A lot of you can't afford newer vehicles because you haven't established credit. I'm talking to people under 25 years old. Some of you aren't 25. Type in how old you are in the chat so I know if you're over 25, okay? It's important. If you can see me on the screen, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me on the screen, give me a thumbs up. Okay, it's working. You need to
I can see you. I just can't like see your screen. Like I can see you. I just can't see like where you're sharing your screen.
You might have to log out and come back in because I'm going to stop sharing a second. If all of you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If all of you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If all of you can see me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, they can see me. All right, give me 1 second. Can you see the screen? Yes? Okay, let's keep going. So what I needed you to do, if you were driving an older vehicle, what measures would you take to be safer, right? That's really important. What measures would you take? Thank you, Z. What measures would you take? So I'm going to look at your comments. Also, this information comes from the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. Those of you who really care, and the National Highway Safety Transportation Administration. So sources. So if we really want to do a deep dive, and we're not going to do this today, we could click on this and see what cars that you guys mentioned are this. Probably the Equinox is probably the safest. I'm going by crash test. Probably the Yukon, GMC Yukon 2020, bigger vehicle. If I was driving an older vehicle, I would make sure everything is working properly, everything is up to date, double check. I appreciate that. Thank you. I want to keep going. Okay, let's keep it going. Fact sheet 6. And what types of crashes are young drivers involved in? You are involved in fatal crashes involving 2 or more vehicles, 68%. We're almost done with this. Then you have to take and do some work here. Yes, make sure everything is up to date in the car. Tires, brakes, headlights, taillights, windshield wipers are working. Is involving young drivers, 36.5% were driving a single vehicle compared to 49% all drivers driving fatal car crashes. So young drivers are having more accidents, but they only account for a small who are driving. That's the problem. You are the problem. What do you mean? Statistically, you have more accidents than someone 24 to 27 to 30 to 35. Well, they're old people. Well, you still have more accidents. Right around 25, if you get to 25, it's going to drop. This is why your insurance drops. And this is why your parents say, we're done. You had 2 tickets, it's your car now. You get your own insurance. In fatal car crashes involving young drivers, 17% were head-on crashes. Those are the most dangerous. Always avoid head-on crashes as possible. In fatal car crashes involving young drivers, 2.9% were rear-end collisions. I need you to answer number 1. Why are most fatal crashes involving young drivers multi-vehicle crashes? I'll say it again. I need you to answer number 1. Why are most fatal car crashes involving young drivers multi-vehicle crashes? Take a moment to answer that. The chat is open. I can see your answers coming in. We're almost done with this. So young drivers drive more miles than people 25 or 30 or 35. Young drivers have more fatal car crashes because they're inexperienced. They don't wear their seatbelt. They're on their phone. They're not paying attention. You won't be in a crash. I won't say won't, but your odds are less. And it's really important that all of you prepare mentally. That's what this class is about. This is a real class. I'm a state certified driving instructor. So you should be putting comments and questions and answers in because we're trying to prepare you and really trying to get you to become good drivers. And you're going to learn something. Okay, let's go on to the next. I'm pushing you through this. Some of you don't like this, but oh well. Fact sheet number 7. What are the road and weather conditions of fatal car crashes? You would think, well, it's been wet, or it's raining, or it's snowing, or ice, but that's not true. 80% of young car fatal car crashes happen on fair weather roads. So young drivers are speeding. They're not paying attention. They're not aware. I'm very passionate about this. I'm going to be seeing you guys in about 2 weeks when you take your state test. And if you fail it, it's not because I'm not preparing you. In fatal car crashes involving young drivers, 71% are on dry roads. In fatal car crashes involving young drivers, 13.9% are on wet roads. So it's opposite. When it's raining, 11.7%. Fatal car crashes involving young drivers, 8.8% occur on snowy weather conditions and 4.4% on icy roads. I need you to answer number 2. Do adverse weather and road conditions affect teen drivers' risk? Why? I'll ask it again. Do adverse weather. If you don't know what adverse weather is, then you don't deserve to get your license. Adverse weather is raining, snowing, fog, rain, hail, ice storm. Do adverse weather and road conditions affect teen driver risk? Why? Please put your answer in. This is how a driver's ed class really should be. We're using case studies. We're looking at real information. And you as a driver or young driver, you're watching this because you want to learn how to drive. You may be watching this from another country. You're like, man, this is real. It is real because we lose a lot of young people all the time. And it's sad and can be avoided. Last year, I went to a young man's funeral. They went out for a basketball game to get some food. He crashed into a tree head on and died. It was very sad. His parents were heartbroken. I was too. So everything I'm telling you is true. Talk about what you know. I'm not talking about cryptocurrency. I'm not talking about Cybertrucks. I'm talking about driver's education. Talk about what you know. And I'm very passionate about it. All of you need to get these thumbs up. I need 6 more. Let's push this out to the people who really need it. Okay, let's keep going. Fact sheet number 8. 58% of drivers, young drivers involved in fatal car crashes are male. 41% are female. But that's changing. Ladies, you're driving fast. Your dad has a Mustang. Your dad has an SRT Jeep. Me, 426 built. Daughter's out racing, beating everyone, but driving too fast. But her and I had a talk. People not wearing seatbelts are 30 times more likely to be ejected in a crash. Wear your seatbelt. What are you doing? Nine 0.5% of you are drinking alcohol. Slow your roll. Call a friend. 14.6 of you are involved in a crash consuming alcohol or using this. Number one, the question is number one, why are more young male drivers involved in fatal car crashes than female drivers? Again, I need you to answer this question. Why are more young male drivers involved in fatal car crashes than females? Take a moment. We're doing a deep dive. This is almost like a public service announcement, but this is how I teach my class. This is what I do. Young males are driving very aggressive, very fast. Cars are faster today. So we have inexperienced drivers driving fast cars, you die. So how do we change this narrative? Through education, Ford, General Motors, Chrysler, and we're not blaming Chrysler, the Hellcat, the Trackhawk, the Charger. We're not blaming automotive manufacturers because your parents buy you these vehicles. You're driving these vehicles. Well, my mom drives fast. I'm not teaching your mom. Well, my dad drives fast. I'm not teaching your dad. Sure, you model what mom and dad do. If mom drives 80, you're going to drive 80. If dad drives 90 to 110, you're going to drive about 90 to 110. I'm just like my dad. I'm just like my mom. But they've been driving for 10 years, 15 years, 24 years. You've been driving 0. Why do you say that? It's true. So there's a lot of things to think about. Let's keep it going. How big are factors? How big a factor of distractions? I want to make sure I said that right. Distracted driving is any activity that diverts the driver's attention from driving, including talking, texting. Fact sheet number 9. How big a factor are distractions? Distracted driving is any activity that takes the driver's attention away from driving, including talking, texting on the phone, eating, drinking, talking to people in the car, fiddling with the stereo, entertainment or navigation system, anything that takes your attention away from driving. This is source. It's number 8. Number 9, scholarly source. Sending or reading a text takes your eyes off the road for 5 seconds. At 55, it's like driving the entire close. Roman numeral 10. 1 in 3 teens who text say they've been doing so while driving. So 1 in 3 of you. If there are 20 people in the class, you do the math. In crashes from 2016 to 2020, where a young motor vehicle driver was distracted, 58% were rearing. If you're distracted, you're more likely to have a rear-end crash. Number 4, what steps would you take to remain focused while driving? You're trying to change your behavior. You're going to do what you want. If you're late to work, you're going to drive 80. If you're late to school, you're going to do 60. If you lied to your parents and went to some guy's or some girl's house, you're going to speed through the sub. Because they're not home yet. Where did you go? When you're late, you speed. We all do. Leave early. Answer the question, please. What would you do to remain focused while driving? Because I think they give a perspective of where you are. A lot of you are very humble and thankful. Some of you are extremely disrespectful. That's who you are. You think you're funny. You're a keyboard warrior. But we're talking about real life here. We're trying to help you extend your life. We're trying to help you be safe. We're trying to help you learn all you can. But a lot of you won't do this because you think you know everything. These sources, the first source is from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The second source is from OHSP, Distracted Driving Fact Sheet. These are real scholarly sources. And take the time to do some reading. If you can't read, then use AI and scan it. You're going to learn so much. But I don't like reading, but you've got to read this stuff. It's really significantly important. Let's talk about the fact sheet. This is a profile of a young driver. They're male. They had their level 2 for the past 6 months. Please type in how long you've had your level 2 license. Type in, well, you're getting your level 2 now after this. So you had it 0. So that's easy. Driving on a dry country road during the daylight. This is for all of you, but I'm a female. Write it down. A straight stretch of roadway without a traffic control device. If you have a friend in the car, peer passenger. Distractions are present. Thank you. Please type in how long have you had segment 1, just to give me an idea where you are in the process. All of you type in how long you had segment 1. I want to use data. Please type it in. All you got to do is look on your date and put today's date. You have to have a minimum 30 hours. Okay? And this gives me a better idea. So as you are typing it in, I need to know. Thank you. I see 11 months, 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 1 year, 47. Also, how many hours of driving do you have? Please type it in. Type in how many hours you're driving, please, so we can put together a profile. How many hours of driving do you have? As you're putting this in, so you have friends in the car, they're going to distract you. You fail to recognize hazardous. You're driving from a hockey game. You went to Kentucky. You drove to Chicago. You went to Buffalo, New York, right? A multi-vehicle crash. You're driving on 75. You're going to Florida, and you're really tired, but you don't trust your friends to drive. You try to drive all the way, and you fall asleep. They're asleep at night. Or a passenger is killed. 34 hours, 43 daylight hours, 16 at night. Thank you, Jay. 7 months, 47 hours, 35 minutes, 10 hours at night. Yes, 30 hours, 3 minutes. You just made it. 30 hours, 3 minutes. 11 hours night. 12 hours at night. Good. 10 hours at night. Thank you for being more granular. Chloe and Ava, how many hours of night driving? Please type it in. And remember, each of you need to put your first, last, and middle name, date of birth, and permit issue number. I'll be checking the roster in a couple minutes. 10 hours at night. That's the minimum. 12 hours. Go past 22 at night. That's what's up. 22 at night. That's what I want to see. 10 each. But my girl had 22. Rita, 22. That's what's up. Rita, did you go to California? Yes, no? No. I would have let you drive to California. Let's go. Let's drive. All right. All right, type in what you learned, please. Type in a couple of sentences. What did you learn? What is the typical teenage driver like? What are some of your dangers? What are some of the things you're going to do that you think are dangerous but are? Right? What did you learn today? I really blew up your brain today. What did you learn today that you can take away and say, you know what? I learned something today. Thank you. This is really educational, right? This is really educational. What did you learn today that can significantly impact you? There's a lot going on here. We unpacked a lot of different things. Beginning drivers take a lot of risk. They make poor decisions because they don't have experience. 2 to 5 is the most dangerous time. The more people you have in a car, the more likely you are to crash. 1 person is 44%. 2 people, 88. 3 people, it quadruples to over 132%. Many of these students are driving older vehicles. So it's really important that you take a breath, take a step back. A lot of learning is going on today. I need you to look at this video, leave comments. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.